Hello friends, in today's video I'm headed back to Winco to see if I can eat 3 meals for $1. I'll be purchasing the most nutritious whole foods that I can create meals with. And I'm not just talking about sustenance here, I want to create meals that actually taste good. First, I'll check out the sale items at the store entrance, but I'm almost certain all of these items are out of our price range. I've been thinking about this challenge ever since the last one, and there's something I've been wanting to try. Some of you shared with me how you are using TVP, which is textured vegetable protein. So today, I would like to try it, but I'm not sure how much I can afford in this challenge, so I'll just be getting a small amount. It is full of protein and other nutrients. Each meal needs to come in at about 33 cents in order for me to be successful. I had thought I would like to try some split yellow peas, but unfortunately they were completely sold out, which was a bummer because I knew that they would be one of the least expensive items, and I'm really not feeling like I want to do pinto beans, so that kind of leaves me wondering what else I should do. I've been keeping an eye on prices, and I noticed that the long grain rice was 20 cents more than it was in May, but it had a green tag, so I believe that was a special savings. I paid 75 cents for the spaghetti in January of this year, and it is now $1.28 a pound. Here are the groceries that I have to make today's meals with. I have 0.29 pounds of white long grain rice for 26 cents. I have 0.06 pounds of flour at 4 cents. I purchased 0.17 pounds of lentils at 20 cents and 0.05 pounds of TVP at 16 cents. And then for the potatoes, I had already purchased potatoes for my last video, so I went ahead and used the price, and I just ended up weighing this out so I could figure out how much it would be. And I had to use my smallest potato to come in right under budget, so that is a little concerning. For my first recipe, I didn't choose a typical American breakfast food item, although I'll be attempting to make pierogies, and they are definitely eaten for breakfast in some parts of the world. I'm hoping these turn out because I only have this small potato and some flour. Adding a little bit of the oil in really helped the texture. I can tell when I'm handling the dough that it just feels a lot nicer, and it's also a little bit less sticky, and I am trying to conserve as much of the flour as possible so that I can use it for my recipes later in the day. Because I boiled my potatoes in these thin slices in the heavily salted water, my potatoes will be perfectly seasoned with salt. I'll just need to add some onion powder. I've seen these made before with sauteed onions, and those would be great if you had onions, but I don't obviously have any for the budget, so I'm just going to be using onion powder, and I'm sure it'll work fine. And then just add quite a bit of pepper. I think that'll be good in here. This is seasoned well and has a great flavor. I'm a little concerned that I'm not going to have enough potato though. I know that you can use your fingers, or I probably could have even used the back of a spoon or a knife to close this, but today I'm using a fork and it seems to be working fine. I think that the thickness level of the dough is just about right. It's holding together as I close it over. I think that last one that I did might be a little too thin, but these are, I think, perfect. And I think that the size is also right. I'm adding a little bit of oil to the water to keep them from sticking together. I'm actually quite surprised that I have some potato left over, so I'll cover these and save these for later. I'll be frying up a few of these potato peels to go with this meal, and I'm just going to season them with a little bit of garlic salt and paprika. I know that sauteed onions with paprika was frequently used as a topping, so I am trying to incorporate the paprika here, even though we don't have the fresh onions. I'm really loving the way the texture turned out on these dumplings. I think it's perfect. I am going to go ahead and fry the thinnest one up in a little bit of oil. I know that these are frequently pan fried in a little butter, but butter isn't very economical, so I'm going to go ahead and use oil and see how that works. My plan was to fry the potato peels and possibly use them as a crispy topping for the pierogi. I thought the texture would be really nice. However, they ended up being a little more chewy, so I decided to eat them on the side, and they were delicious. First, I tried the dumplings that I fried in the oil. It was a nice, slightly crispy, chewy texture, and it had amazing flavor with that onion potato mixture. Next, I tried the boiled one, and I love the way this turned out. The texture was perfect. The pasta was nicely set, but the potato on the inside was fluffy and full of flavor. I know that pierogies are frequently topped with sour cream, and since I had some in the fridge, I wanted to try one bite with that, and it was really good. I love this meal. If you're trying to save money on food, this is definitely a recipe that you want to have, and the fact that you can make this up in advance and freeze the pierogies and then just take them out and boil them, that makes this not only a great budget-friendly recipe, but great for easy weekday meals. For lunch, I'm going to use the rice and textured vegetable protein. I'm concerned with the small amount of TVP, but I think it'll swell up and be enough. I'll be using vegetable bouillon powder out of my pantry. This is definitely increasing in size. I found instructions on how to cook this online at Bob's Red Mill. It said to add more water as needed in between microwave sessions. I'm not sure if it needs more because I don't know what this is supposed to look like. Okay, this definitely needs more water now. It's become very hard. I tried one of the hard little pieces and it was delicious and super chewy, so I may want to experiment more with this in the future. By browning our flour, we were able to get this nice, dark, rich color on our gravy. I love the flavor of the vegetable bouillon, but you could use chicken or beef flavor, and they also have some garlic bouillon and an onion bouillon that I'm sure would make a nice gravy. I ended up with a little more rice than I thought I would have, so I'm going to go ahead and save part of it for later, but this is going to make a nice and filling lunch. And I was really happy with the way this TVP turned out. It's going to add some protein to the lunch along with some additional nutrients. And I'm going to go ahead and save a little bit of this for later. I think this is plenty for lunch. And then I'm just going to pour over the gravy over the top. You could make the gravy much, much thinner to where it would soak down into the rice, you know, more like a sauce than a gravy, but I wanted to do it this way and it had a ton of flavor. This was really good. I would eat this any night of the week. I would probably just add a green vegetable alongside of it. But as is, this was hearty and filling. This meal really stayed with me and I wasn't hungry again until dinner. It is now dinner time, and this is what we have left over. We have a very small amount of flour, a good amount of lentils, some potato, TVP, rice, and a small amount of potato peels. I've been craving lentil soup, but I also think that with these ingredients, we could make a lentil taco mixture with the TVP that would be really good. We can also add some rice in for extra chewiness and season everything with taco seasoning. Before I make a decision though, I'm going to see if I have enough flour to make a tortilla. My tortilla turned out fairly well, so I'm going to go ahead with my plan to make a lentil taco mixture with the TVP. I cooked my lentils until slightly al dente, and I'm going to pull a little bit out and microwave those until they're very soft. And I'll add those to my potato mixture. I'm planning to make some potato pancakes, and I'm afraid I don't have enough potato, so I'll add the lentils and hopefully they'll help my patty stick together. The TVP was literally popping out of the pan. I'm making the potato peelings the way I did before with a little bit of salt, garlic salt, and paprika, and then I'll just fry those until crispy. And I'm finishing off my soup by adding in some of the leftover rice with the lentils And I thought about adding some vegetable bouillon, but it has such amazing flavor with just salt and pepper. We have a fairly good-sized dinner. 22 cents was spent on the lentils, but we used some of the leftover ingredients from breakfast and lunch, so that definitely would have added in to the cost, but probably we used about 30 to 35 cents worth of ingredients. The lentil soup is hearty and delicious, and the TVP turned out awesome as well. This seemed like it would have been a good vegan version of hamburger meat. It's chewy and full of flavor. I think one of the biggest surprises of this meal was how good these little potato pancakes were. I was afraid they weren't going to be able to stay together, but they fried up nicely and were one of my favorite parts of this meal. Even though we only had a few potato peels, they were crispy and full of flavor and really added a lot to the meal. I thought the tortilla turned out great, and I would definitely eat that TVP taco mixture again. Next time though, I'd like to add a little lettuce and tomatoes and make a proper taco with it. But this was really good. The entire meal was filling, and I actually have some lentil soup leftovers. Now I'll share with you something I filmed a few days ago. The owner of this company reached out to me to see if I would want to try their product. They have a subscription box service that provides a new box every month filled with snacks from a different country. This was a hard yes for me because I love exploring foods from other cultures. My treat box is from Peru. They included this card that has a picture of one of their famous cultural sites, and on the back it has some information about the country and the snacks that are in the box. Here is another card with more info, and it has a Peruvian recipe on the back. How fun is that? They included this card so you can match it up with the item and learn about each snack that's in the box. The first snack I tried was morochas, which happens to be one of Peru's most popular snacks. Wow, those are really light. What do you think?
Kind of like a chocolate graham cracker.
That is really, really good. My son Justin was eager to try these treats with me. We realized right away though that we were going to need some milk. I recently tried oat milk for the first time. I had read reviews online and it seemed like Chobani was the most popular, and I have to say, if you've never tried Chobani vanilla oat milk, this stuff is amazing. It's so creamy and delicious, and I like it better than almond milk. That looks good. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Up to peanuts or something. That's good.
That's really good. Okay, that's a winner. That might be one of my favorites. Oh, how pretty. This was such a fun experience, and I love everything about the idea of getting a treat box from different countries. This would be a perfect gift for a foodie or anyone really that you're not sure of what to get them, because everybody loves treats. This would be fun to have at a family gathering because it's a great conversation starter. The company is trytreats.com. I'll put a link to them in my description. They'll give you a 15% off discount if you use the coupon code ArdentMichelle. Make sure to tune in to my next $5 food adventure where I'll be conducting a giveaway for one of these delicious treat boxes. I hope you like this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.